joined by Will Santos, and we're here to bring you this royal action featuring the King Phillip Warriors versus the Canton Bulldogs at Mercer Ridge Gymnasium and Varsity boys basketball action. Well, it's certainly going to be a big-time matchup here tonight.
Exactly, Kevin. Obviously, this game is going to be very exciting. King Phillip sits at third in the Kelly Rex division. Meanwhile, Canton sits at third in the Davenport division. Both teams really want a win tonight. Canton is coming off a devastating 75-73 loss to Foxborough, while King Phillip is coming off a win versus North Attleboro, where they took the victory 60-50. Obviously, both teams are very talented, so both teams, they really want this win.
Absolutely. As it looks like we're having the starting lineups and the announcements coming from Canton Athletic Director Daniel Erickson.
An important factor in helping all students achieve academic and athletic success. The Kyle Cares organization is a leader in the field of destigmatization of mental health, promoting open and honest conversation and encouraging all students and their families to seek help if needed, without shame or hesitation. In collaboration with them, the Hockomock League is proud to be taking a unified approach in advocating for mental health awareness in our schools, community, and for our student athletes. Thank you, and good luck to both teams. We will now introduce the starting lineup for both teams, starting with the visiting Warriors. Number 1, senior Grant Kinney. Number 2, senior Tommy Morano. Number 4, junior Tommy McLeish. Number 5, senior Will Lamont. And number 12, sophomore Tommy Gilroy. Head coach of the Warriors, David Stefano. And now, the Canton Bulldogs. Number 2, senior Matt Chapin. Number 3, junior Zaza Francoeur. Number 4, senior Julius Hicks. Number 13, junior Jamal McConnell. And number 14, senior Kate Giuliani. Head coach of the Bulldogs, Eric McKinnon. We ask you now all to rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Start off with this big-time matchup between the King Phillip Warriors and the Canton Bulldogs in varsity boys basketball action. Thank you so much for joining us here on Canton Community Television, Comcast 12, Verizon 41, and Verizon HD 2143, and on CantonCommunityTV.org. And if you're watching this after the fact on the on-demand section of CantonCommunityTV.org, we thank you very much for doing that, as we thank the people watching live here tonight. Now, Will, who are some of the people we should be watching out for on both sides.
Now for King Phillip, Will LaPlatte is currently averaging 16.4 points per game. He is an absolute stud for King Phillip. Meanwhile, for Canton, 2 players to watch out for is Zaza Francoeur, who 2 weeks ago was named Canton Citizen Player of the Week, and Jamal McConnell, who was overall one of the best scorers on the Canton team.
There you go. Looks like we're going to have the tip-off here. Looks like Julius Hicks will be taking the tip-off here, and Tommy McLeish will be taking it off for the Warriors. The Warriors in the green and gold, the Bulldogs in the white and green. They get set, and there's the tip-off picked up there by Caden. Caden gives it off, and it is back over to one Jamal McConnell. McConnell is one of the top 15 scorers in the entire league so far this season. Now over to Zaza, who dunked in the previous contest. This one from downtown, no good, picked up McConnell. McConnell looking for the open man, gives it over. And Chafin, down to Zaza. Zaza looking for the open man again, 35-second shot clock here. New this season, so 22 seconds left on it. Back to McConnell. McConnell shoots his up, no good.
The thing about Zaza Francoeur is that he's not just an athletic player. He can also shoot threes. He can shoot mid-range shots. He's one of a kind.
Absolutely. He has so many talented attributes, and he has certainly so many that help him out. And we'll go through those as the night progresses, as Hicks comes down with the board. Now McConnell coming down here. Of course, the Bulldogs just 4 short days ago, they played a double overtime game against the Foxborough Warriors right here on this very court. Do you think that has to weigh very heavily on their mind? Is there more ties there than at a Boy Scout camp?
The crowd was very electric in that game. It was a huge addition as number 2 on King Phillip breaks a shot. And obviously, Canton, they obviously needed the crowd in that one. And obviously, it almost propelled them to a win. As if you were watching the previous game, you could see the crowd was very into it, and obviously the Bulldogs were into it.
I don't think I've seen that many people in the gymnasium, not for an assembly before. They had to break out extra bleachers. There were so many people.
It was extremely entertaining if you're a sports fan.
And then back up to the shot here, and it still rolls off. Still no score here. Just under 2 minutes gone by here in this one, and still looking for the first point for either team. And it looks like Caden will be taking this one. Unfortunately, he gives it off. And Chafin off to Hicks. Hicks, no 3. It seems like the 3-point land is just shut down from all shots.
Looks very rough so far, but obviously a lot of game to be left so far.
Definitely the case here, and you see that the Warriors gather at least 50 points or so a game. They're only letting up about 40. Those from HockeyMuckSports.com. Of course, that's the 2-time overtime is a outlier. Picking it up here, now back over Hicks for the shot. Still, you think that they might want to go into the paint at this point?
I mean, I certainly would, as you can see right there, Hicks and Zaza are some of the Canton's best players. They want to, I feel like Coach McKinnon, he wants to put in the post with both Zaza and Hicks.
And the shot is up there, Zaza, the block, and it's the first points of the game there for Will LaPlatte, who is a player to watch this season and is extremely talented. Led the team in scoring last season. Look for many more shots to be landed by number 5, Will LaPlatte.
He could go down as Hawkmock League MVP this year. He's obviously averaging 16 points a game. He's a very entertaining player to watch.
The teams have very similar overall records. The King Phillip Warriors at 7-4. The Bulldogs just scored those 2 points. 7-4 for the Warriors, and the Bulldogs at 6-5 overall.
Julius Hicks is obviously one of the most talented players on this team. They obviously need him in the post a lot.
Goes up for the block there. Now picked up here, McConnell. McConnell gives it down to Chapin. And Chafin gets the bucket, and the Bulldogs take the lead.
Rare layup by Matt Chafin right there. He's usually in the 3-point line, hitting threes.
And now it gets over, backing it up. Now LaPlatte shoots, and off the side rim. Rebounded it in for Tommy Matarano.
Tommy Matarano is second in scoring for King Phillip. He's averaging 12.7 points per game. He's obviously a very good player.
He's in the top 15 in the entire league. along with Jamal McConnell and Will LaPlante, as it is 5-4 in favor of the Warriors. The Bulldogs have went from the Foxborough Warriors to the King Phillip Warriors, so it's Warriors to Warriors, the Canton High School story.
More of the same.
Backing it up here, right in front of us, picked up, and it'll be Grant McKinney. And Grant McKinney, the senior captain, now chasing down. Gives it over to his co-captain.
Nice block by Zaza right there.
And Will gains the 2 points. That's the biggest advantage so far. 7-4 with 3:25 left to go in the first quarter. Passing it back out now, rolling it down. Oh, stolen by the team in green and gold. And the transition basket goes to the Warriors.
Sloppy game so far. Now Canton, they obviously need to win, in particular conference win. They've gone to back-to-back losses, Franklin and Foxborough. So obviously if they win today, that is a huge energy boost in the season.
And they've been 2 tough losses. Like, nobody wants to lose in double overtime. I was talking to Coach Eric McKinnon for the Bulldogs, like, how do you rebound for that? That was only 4 days ago. How do you get going? You're already playing a game, and King Phillip is no slouch. They're a fantastic team. So it's like, you say, we'll see how it happens. Because you had the snow yesterday, and then you get the thing that was the weekend. There's not too much time to transition over.
To add on to that, they also lost to Franklin, who's one of the best teams in the states. So if they won that game, I feel like they could have possibly beat Foxborough, as that momentum would have carried on to the next previous game.
See, that's the momentum that they need to start building. The season's reaching its crescendo. It's only 8 games after this for both teams. So it's either this one or Mansfield. They need to pick something up so they can get that momentum. Otherwise, it's going to be a downward slide.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, they started off pretty good, but they're kind of going through a rough stretch right now.
And the thing is that they're incredibly talented. So it's not like they're going to be losing forever. At least on paper, they wouldn't be losing forever.
I mean, they got some pretty below conference games coming up, so I feel like they can feed off that.
And backing it up here. Zaza looking still on the arc. And the shot for Julius, no good. Now backing it up here. Looks like Jeremiah Preden coming in. No good, and now 2:14 left to go. 9-4 the score. Now picking it up here, McConnell still running forward, and it'll be no good there. Looks like Orano will be called for the foul, and McConnell will be taking the shot.
McConnell obviously leads Canton in scoring, 12.9 points per game. He's obviously a well-rounded scorer all around, mid-range, 3-point, inside the rim. He has it all.
You can't hit them all.
Yeah.
It looks like Preden is coming in for Hicks. You'd think that the Bulldogs are hungry to get this victory. You face Franklin, okay, you kind of get that. But after you lose to Foxborough and double overtime, you think the hunger must be building to get a victory. It's those intangibles that you think would make the difference up.
Canton is certainly not a bad team. Obviously, Franklin's one of the best teams in the state, and they are the best team in the Kelly Rex division, as number 5, Kelly LaPlante, misses a shot. Canton has the ball.
Under 2 left to go here in the first quarter. Picking it up here is Ashton Satut. Satut now into the game. Now backing it up, back over. McConnell for 3. End of the rainbow, he found no goal. Looks like Clyde back and trying for the 3. It seems like the 3 has been the preferred shot for both teams. And speaking of it, that one did not go in for Trevor Clyde. Brandon DeCastro looking at sub into the game here. Institute will get the bucket. Zaza is fired up.
Nice shot by Jeremiah right there, as you can see, and one One shot at the 3 for line.
Looks like Brandon DeCastro, number 24, is coming in for Tommy Maturano, number 2. And that will be no good for Jeremiah Breeden. The defense chance coming from the Bulldog side of things. They're typically a quiet bunch.
Crowd's a lot smaller today.
But there's still a big bunch, and there's still a good chunk of the student section here. 9 seconds left on the shot clock, under a minute left to go in the period. And the shot is up. Oh, just slides out of the way, no good. That one will roll into the stands. Looks like Dylan Wynn, former CHS alum, into the game here, is in the stands to support his former team.
Always love to see alumni supporting their former teams.
There you go, under 30 seconds left to go. And this one here. And, oh, with the shot is up, oh, off the red rim, no good. And with 18 seconds left to go in the first quarter, that one is bounced off the red back iron.
Here's Canton's one of their only sophomores, Anthony Delicia.
And it's sunken. See if they give it 3, so the Bulldogs will take a 1-point lead into the first quarter. At the end of it, they'll take it into the second quarter.
Obviously, Canton struggled early on this first quarter, but then they bounced back late in the first quarter. Matt Chafin, as you can see right there, with 2 seconds left, hits a 3, what he's best at. And 10-9, Canton leads first quarter.
And it's certainly been a highly contested matchup between these two so far. Again, they've traded the lead back and forth. There's no lead that's been bigger than 3. And now the Bulldogs, you think, okay, you've played the first quarter. Now you kind of see how the two teams are starting to play a little bit. How is that going to change? Does that change your game plan coming into the game? You've seen what the other team is lined up with. Does that change your game plan?
Yeah, I would definitely say it would. As you can see early on in the game, Canton was kind of struggling with their 3s, and now I feel like Coach McKinnon, he might want to go inside the paint some more, with maybe Zaza Francor or Julius Hicks, or maybe someone off the bench. For example, you can bring in Jeremiah Breeden, Lucas Missy, Cream Porter. Obviously, so many forwards on the bench. So.
And it's certainly going to be the case here. And then for the King Phillip Warriors, they did the same thing when they played against North Attleboro last Friday. They went out to that 16-point lead. And eventually, the Red Rocketeers kept clawing back, but it was the King Phillip Warriors that took away the 10-point victory. Don't have that 16-point advantage so far coming into the second quarter, as it is underway now. And it looks like Tommy Kilroy is into the match, number 12, and he sinks the bucket. 3 Tommies on the team.
That is very interesting. I mean, like, obviously, maybe King Phillip has something with the name Tommy, but I don't know.
There were 3 Ryans on Foxborough's team, and now there's 3 Tommies on King Phillip's team.
I mean, obviously, it's very interesting how these names are on other towns, so.
There you go. And of course, King Phillip is a regional high school representing the towns of Timeout, looking for the timeout, but not going to get it. Towns of Rentham, Plainville, and Norfolk. It'll be 1-1. And in comes Keith Hannon. Now to the line is Trevor Clyde, the number 15, the junior forward. Shot is up and off to the side. Picking up here is Zaza. We talked about his athleticism and his ability to score. I think his greatest attribute is his positive attitude and his respect for so many people. That's what keeps him going. It's his positive and respectful attitude, which equals his greatest quality. Now backing it up, and the shot is, off the mark, no good for LaPlante.
The Bulldogs are really going to need to defend LaPlante tonight. He's obviously one of King Phillip's best players. as Zaza Francor tries to hit a shot, but no good.
Tommy Matarano coming back into the game for KP, and he'll take over for Mr. Will LaPlante. Anthony Delezia into the game for the Bulldogs, number 12. Oh, picks it off right there. And now gives it over to Zaza. Zaza back. Ashton for three. Off the mark, but rebound there. Forehand and Zaza, no good. And they're going to wrestle for it down on the ground. I didn't know this was a wrestling meet as well.
I mean, that was just a perfect team play all around. Anthony gets a steal, rebounded. I mean, everything but the shot, but obviously good team effort right there.
Talk about making an impact early. He came in less than 30 seconds ago, and he's already stealing the ball.
I'm pretty sure he is one of Canton's 2 sophomores, right?
Believe so.
Him and Wesley Mew. Wesley had
yes,
24.
There was no freshman on either squad.
In the previous game, Wesley Mew had 24 points for his JV team, so maybe Coach McKinnon will get him in sometime this quarter.
It could be. And now backing it up here. Oh, shot is up and good. 15-15 with 5:37 left to go in the first half. Thank you so much for joining us here on Canton Community Television, Comcast 12, Verizon 41, and Verizon HD 2143, and on CantonCommunityTV.org. Watching the varsity boys basketball action featuring the Canton Bulldogs. Oh, stolen by Ashton Satu with the layup, and it's good. It's the Canton Bulldogs and the King Phillip Warriors.
Ashton Satu is one of the seniors that some people might forget about, but tonight he's putting on a good effort so far. Obviously with that layup right there, but his defense has been pretty good, I might add.
He had an amazing matchup last Friday in the loss against Foxborough. It was crucial to Canton's success in that one. And it looks like Jeremiah Preedon is called for the infraction, and it will be Tommy Matarano to the charity stripe. And it's good.
Funny thing is, him and Matt Chafin both have the same jersey number, and they both have they both sort of have the same playing style. Obviously, he can shoot the ball, and Matt Chafin can shoot the ball.
There you go. Comparisons all the while. They have similar records, both in the division and overall. Shot is up. Oh, 1 for 1. It'll get a shot for three. And it is off the mark, but again, the rebound coming back. And they'll look to corral it off to the side. And speaking of Matt, here he comes.
And for number 1, Keith Handon, senior guard.
And now back over here. As you see, number 1, Grant McKinney, the senior captain. Leading the offense and getting it back over. Picked it up to Matarano. 19 seconds left on the shot clock, 4:30 left to go in the first half. Bulldogs up by a singular point. And it looks like Kareem Porter is in. And he'll get his first foul.
Seems a little upset by that.
Brendan Nicastro sinks the free throw attempt.
Sort of a low-scoring game so far. 17-18 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
You would think it would be a high-scoring game with 3 of the top 15 scorers in the league. But that just tells you how good the defense is, or the shots just aren't falling tonight. Maybe it's a combination of both. Delezia tried to get over to Porter, but a little too high and too far away. Now backing it up here. Oh, shot just off the protective barrier on the glass. Now Delezia gets it back. Oh, pass no good this time, and now right and over. And I don't know if there's an alley-oop layup, but if there is such a thing, we just saw it.
I I mean, obviously Delezio was very disappointed with that play. Let's see how we can get them back.
Picking it back up. And Chaffin, Chafin gets the big points, tying this game back up at 20.
Chafin's 3 for 4 tonight from the 3-point line. He's obviously very hot.
Delezio trying to make up for it, and is now guarding the senior captain. Kinney heads it over. Still looking for the opportunity, 10 seconds left. Shot clock has little text left on it. Trying to get it off. Delezio, the block, but it did not get far enough.
What a great defensive effort by Canton right there, forcing King Phillip to make a very bad shot.
Back up to Delezio for 3. And just off the mark. Defense chant coming from the Bulldogs bench. Picked up here, Porter. Snags the board. Now coming over is Merliani. Merliani back to Satut. Satut into the paint. The shot is up. Off the mark.
Here comes Julius Hicks and number 13, Jamal McConnell.
He'll be coming in for Ashton Satut. Picked up Kareem. Kareem gives it to Julius. And Chafin wide open. Now Kareem is in a pickle.
Canton has all seniors on the court right now, a rare sight. Kareem Porter, Jamal McConnell, Matt Chafin, Caden Merleni, and Julius Hicks.
On the court for the Warriors is Tom McLeish, number 4. Number 12, Tommy Kilroy. Number 2, Tommy Matarano. All the Toms are out there. And then you got number 1, the senior captain, Grant Kinney, along with number 5, Will LaPlante. So you got all the Toms, and you got the 2 senior captains. Shot is up. No good there for Kilroy.
King Phillip's head coach is not very happy about that.
He's a very loud individual.
He's very passionate.
There you go. Looks like Kareem coming out of the game here. I think McConnell came back. And McConnell has it, top of the key, gives it over. Trying to get the rebound, not going to happen. And now coming down the side. Picking it up, and the shot is good. It's the first points in a little bit. 1:15 left to go in the first half. 3 points is the separation between the Canton Bulldogs and the King Phillip Warriors.
It is very surprising seeing these 2 teams score very little points.
Backing it up here, Merlian, and then the putback for Freedom. I think it's the aggressive defense, and it's so hard to get them over. There's fairly tall individuals, so they're trying to just get it over, and it's just so aggressive out there, like you're seeing.
Both teams needed to win badly, so obviously Canton and King Phillip, they're more inclined to guard some of their best players more, so they can minimize their efforts.
If King Phillip wins and Taunton loses, King Phillip's now tied for second. The Bulldogs are trying to get away from 3 straight losses. No good. But it looks like McConnell will be going to the line.
We have seen Canton be a great team before, obviously versus Franklin, one of the best teams in state, and they almost beat them. So obviously,
You only
Canton,
lost by 5 points.
That is true. Obviously, I feel Canton, 2 straight losses. I don't feel like that's them. So
they're an incredibly talented team, and you watch them, and it's like, how is this team not at the best, and you don't get by double. You don't go to double overtime by accident. So you have to have a good team to at least get to that point. And you look at Zaza, you look at Matt, you look at Julius. There's just down the list. It's just talented player after talented player.
Even some of the more less recognized players like Caden or Jeremiah, they are also very talented in their own right. So they got good bench depth and pretty good starters. They just need wins.
Going over there is LaPlante, who's been awfully quiet for a guy that scores an awful lot. But then he'll try to get it right there, and that's just the case, is that it's been really hard. Both teams very passionate. That's not going to count. It was a half-court shot. Merliani just hit it. It's not going to count, but it certainly looked good.
Looking a little like Steph Curry right there. Obviously, Caden's one of Canton's best shooters. If that counted, I'm sure the crowd would have been nuts.
And now Caden going to the line here. .6 seconds remain in the first half, 24 to 23. Caden gets ready to shoot. And no good, but picked up, rebound Bulldogs, and then that's in. The crowd erupts. 1.4 seconds left. It looks like it was on Grant Kinney. Now this will send Creedon to the line. Creedon makes it. I think it's the biggest lead. Is a two-possession game.
Whoa! That almost went in.
Seems like if they had the contest for longest shot, like a halftime, and then you get like a scholarship if you shoot from half court, I think both teams would have a pretty good chance.
I mean, going to the half, Canton's up by 4 points, but 27-23. Obviously, Canton, I feel like the crowd not being as maximized as it was last game, I feel like that's a huge difference from this game to last game.
Well, you've got to make sure that no matter how many people in the crowd, that you play your best basketball out on the court. So that's what needs to happen. And the Bulldogs so far doing that, it's the defense, and they've been literally wrestling for balls multiple times. They have the mats right over there. They can set it all up. And it looks like we have a replay coming in here. As you see, Caden, that's Caden's half-court shot, and he nailed it. Talking about those half-court shots, you see one right there from the senior number 14, Caden Merliani.
If that went in and if that counted, I feel like the Canton bench, it would have went crazy, bro.
Absolutely, it's incredible. So you do want to read this for this week. The Hockomock League partners with Kyle Cares. The Hockomock League has designated this week as Mental Health Week to support the emotional well-being of their student athletes. Sporting events across the league are designated as a mental health awareness game. That is any sporting event this week. The league's 12 athletic departments partnered with Kyle Cares to take a proactive, unified approach in advocating for mental health awareness for the schools and their communities. Kyle Cares is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting open and honest communication about mental health challenges experienced by teens and young adults in today's society.
It's a very good foundation, very good effort. So,
and that's league-wide. All 12 schools are taking part in that. So it's always good to see that is a focus, because especially in today's day and age with social media and comparison and trying to put your best self out there in social media, the anxiety and a lot of the depression can certainly be bolstered because of what you see on social media or just in general.
It's for a very good cause.
And again, that's all week, where all 12 teams in the Hockomock are having mental health week. So, and then all sporting events are in support of that, trying to just bring people more aware, say that it's a real thing and that it's something people struggle with. So hopefully you don't have to struggle alone.
I agree, Nick. I mean, so sorry, Kevin, sorry. I was thinking about So different person. I thought I got mixed up.
So as these two have developed a gritty contest, and it's been that way, it's been resilient, it's been the Royal King Phillip Warriors and the courageous Canton Bulldogs. But who will win on the battlefield today? Well, we have 16 minutes left in the game to find out. Maybe there's more minutes, who knows? But it was quite fast, and it's been a great matchup here between the King Phillip Warriors and the Canton Bulldogs. Thank you so much for joining us here on Canton Community Television, Comcast 12, Verizon 41, and Verizon HD 2143, and on CantonCommunityTV.org. And still we go along here with the Matt Chafin is one of HockeyMuckSports.com's basketball players to watch this season. Along is Will LaPlante, who's also one for the King Phillip side of things. And Zaza, as you mentioned, was one of the Canton Citizens Athletes of the Week not too long ago. And the Canton Citizen actually calls Zaza one of the most consistent players on the Canton team.
I agree, Kevin. As you can see right here, I mean, not right here, but obviously Matt Chafin, he might be Canton's best player so far. He's been hitting threes. He's been playing good defense. So in the second half, I feel like King Phillip's head coach,
Dave DiStefano.
Dave DiStefano, I feel like he's probably going to have an extra cover on Matt Chafin. As you can see, Matt Chafin, pretty sure he has 9 points so far. He's hit 3 threes. So obviously a three-point line is going to be something to watch out for King Phillip. Now, another thing to mention is that star players for both teams, Zaza Francoeur, who's arguably the best player for Canton, and Will LaPlante, who's arguably the best player for King Phillip, they've both sort of been struggling so far. They haven't finding their stride. So in the second half, I feel like both players are going to be making a huge impact on the game.
Absolutely. You saw that Zaza he dunked in the last contest. He stole the ball and dunked it, did the two-handed jam, and almost did an alley-oop in the last contest too. And actually, Will LaPlante's brother, Drew LaPlante, is also on the King Phillip squad, so they are there supporting each other here tonight.
Zaza is obviously known for his dunks. I mean, not so long ago, Zaza on his AEU team dunked over a guy, literally jumped over him. I mean, he is an absolute athletic freak. But another thing to mention is that Canton, besides from Drew Gillis, has no injuries tonight, which is funny enough because Canton only has 27 points so far. If you told someone before the game that Canton would only have 27 points, I feel like some people would say some players might be out, but only one person is injured tonight.
That is true. And you would think that King Phillip has even less points. They were 23. They average a lot higher than that. You would think that you would think the same question. Oh, what's going on? Is their defense really good? Is something going on? It's a very low-scoring game for these two teams. And again, in the last game, the King Phillip Warriors scored 50 points. Bulldogs scored 72, but again, that was double overtime. But even before that, against Franklin, they scored 50 points. So you think, you're right, that these scores would be a little bit higher, but that's a testament to the defense and the toughness that is happening right here on this very court.
Obviously, offense is potentially one of Canton and King Phillip's strong suit, but defense in this matchup has been very good so far. Obviously, limiting Will LaPlante and Tommy Martirano, but on King Phillip's side, they've also been limiting Jamal McConnell and Zaza Francoeur, not to mention senior forward Julius Hicks. They've sort of been struggling so far, but I'm sure they're in the locker room right now thinking to themselves, well, first half was sort of rough for us, but I feel like, well, maybe let's come together as a team, make strides, and win this game.
There we go. As the Warriors come back out onto the court. And we thank you so much for joining us here as we'll go down the rosters here. So the senior captains for the King Phillip Warriors is the senior captain number 1, Grant Kinney. Senior captain number 5, Will LaPlante. Senior number 2, Tommy Matarano. Junior number 4, Tommy McLeish. Senior number 10, Colin Peck. Sophomore number 12, Tommy Kilroy. Junior number 15, Trevor Clyde. Junior number 20, Danny Silverelli. Silverielli. Sophomore, we apologize. Sophomore number 22, Drew LaPlante. Sophomore number 24, Brandon Nicastro. And sophomore number 34, sophomore number 34, Jack Assini, along with junior number 42, Peter Collado. And who do we have for the Canton side of things, Will?
Captains number 2 and number 4, respectively, Matt Schaefen and Julius Hicks. Senior guard, Keith Hannon. Junior forward, Zaza Francoeur. Junior guard, Lucas Missy. James McCool, number 10. Number 11, Jeremiah Prendon. Number 12, Anthony DeLezia. Jamal McConnell, number 13, fellow senior guard. Caden Merliani, sorry about that. Number 14, Ashton Satut. Number 15, Owen Lean, number 22, junior guard. Number 24, sophomore guard, Leslie Mew. Number 33, senior forward, who's out tonight, Drew Gillis. And number 5, Cream Porter, sorry about that. And head coach, second year in the league so far, Eric McKinnon.
There you go, second as the Bulldogs head coach, and he's done a great job so far, taking over for head coach Ryan Gordy, who was at the helm for 10 seasons, now the athletic director for Oliver Ames High School. As we wind down halftime here, we thank you so much for joining us, Mullen-Canton Community Television, as they are just under 30 seconds left in the halftime period. The Warriors and the Bulldogs each have had 5-game winning streaks from late December to mid-January.
Obviously, the Bulldogs can catch red heat really quickly. If they can win tonight, I feel like they may go on a streak there for their own.
As they go on a second streak there, and the King Phillip Warriors are still shopping for another victory.
Though obviously, Canton has a very tough game next game against Mansfield. Mansfield currently sits at the top of the Davenport Division, number 1, ahead of Sharon and Canton.
In their first year in the Davenport, but you got to focus on the game here and right now. The shot is up, and hits the back iron. And that ball is chasing away. Gets another opportunity, and gets the same result.
Rough possession by LaPlace right there, but a really good possession by the Canton defense. Obviously lacking on the hustle right there, but overall, good possession.
Now pushing it back over here. Nicastro looking to come in. Number 24 picked up here by number 2, Tommy Matarano. Defense chance coming from the Bulldog bench. And Grant Kinney coming back after it. Running after it. Scores the bucket. First points of the third quarter.
LaPlace needed that after a rough possession last time around. Nice layup by LaPlace. Drew Schaefen for 3. No good.
Now back up Zaza for 3. And 3 for number 3.
As I mentioned earlier, Zaza is a very good three-point shooter, not to mention his athletic ability, so they'll obviously need that today.
It's easy to list the things he's not good at because he's good at so many things.
I think that's pretty good analysis, Kevin, as King Phillip calls a timeout.
Looks like that is one of the first, if not the first, timeout on the game. 6:21 left to go in the third quarter. 30-25 the score.
King Phillip is most likely going to need to make some adjustments here. Obviously, Canton up 30-25 as Zaza Francoeur hit a 3.
And they're going to continue. Now you got to get over what do you do for each team in the huddle? How do you rebound? How do you move forward? How do you get set and ready for the teams? And it might be the intangibles. King Phillip won their last game. It was a close game against North Attleboro, but they won. Canton won in a very devastating fashion. Nobody ever wants to lose in overtime, let alone double overtime on a literal last-second shot. So you think that they're hungry for more. They want to keep going. This team is always studying film. They're always together. Back out on it, 15 seconds left on the clock, and now coming back after it, LaPlante. Oh, Zaza tried to get him, and it rolls right on the red rim, but nothing good. Backing it up here. Gilroy for three.
King Phillip has just had a really rough game shooting the ball so far. Here comes Chafin for three. No good. Number 12, Thomas Kilroy gets the rebound. Kilroy, my bad.
And now coming back after it here. Kilroy gives it over. Oh, up. Medarano. Oh, and it's stuck. It got stuck on the side of the rim.
One of the best moments of the game, by far.
And it goes in, saved by Jamal McConnell. There's not a lot of space between the back iron and the glass. But there's just enough that if you hit it in the precise spot, that it'll get stuck. And that's exactly what we saw right there. Shot is up, Caden. There's been 5 points, I believe, scored in this quarter. About 5 minutes left. And Chafin's going to take this one.
Nice hustle by Chafin right there. More than just a three-point shooter.
And this one will be hit over to Grant Kinney, and Caden will be coming out. Jeremiah Predin will be coming in. Excuse me, he'll be coming in for Julius Hicks. Now Tom McLeish coming down. Up there for Grant. Now downtown. No good, and then picked up there by McConnell. McConnell only a junior, but is a valuable part of this Bulldog squad. Picked up there for, again, the trifectas are not connected. Shot is out, and it's going over. Backing it over, Will, blocked.
Platts just can't get anything going. Can't get anything going today. Obviously, right there, he just has to be frustrated with that.
The defense has been superb. It's been aggressive, and it has been effective. Zaza, no block, none needed. Backed up here. Board goes to Merliani. Matt, oh, missed the layup. Now coming down the side is Matarano. For three, Will. We're going to start keeping track of how many threes there are. More importantly, which ones are made. I feel like we haven't seen a three-point correct. I feel like we haven't seen a three-point fall in quite some time.
King Phillip will obviously have to go on their bench in the coming minutes. Their starters so far are just not getting the job done.
Or is it the Bulldogs defense?
I mean, allowing only 25 points on King Phillip's offense, which is pretty good, it's obviously a very, very much a challenge. So
that's impressive. No Chief into the line. And he'll get it. That's the first point in, I believe, at least 3 minutes.
Chafin usually gets noted for his three-point shooting, but obviously his free throw shooting is obviously just as good, in my opinion.
I think the three-pointer has been off for everybody today. And he gets both. Tom McLeish into the game for the Warriors, number 4. And the Bulldogs will get that one. And Anthony Delezia, number 12 in.
The Bulldogs defense has just been absolutely stellar so far today. I mean, they've sort of just been unstoppable at some points in the game. As here comes Kane Stearns.
Oh, and that's good. Did you see who shot that one?
Caden Marinelli, obviously one of the best three-point shooters on Canton. And here comes Jeremiah Brendan. What a nice hustle play right there. It's still King Phillip's ball, but I mean, Canton's defense has just been absolutely amazing tonight. I mean, King Phillip only has 25 points. That is absolutely insane. And plus, they're limiting two of King Phillip's best scorers. As you can see right there, Jeremiah Brendan gets a steal. Just like an absolute amazing defensive effort all around.
Back to Merliani. Thought he was going to go for another 3. Zaza missed the field goal twice. But he's happy. He's going to go to the line. Zaza from the 15-foot line.
Canton won their freshman and JV matchups versus King Phillip earlier today, so I feel like that might have been a factor going into the game. Both teams winning.
You're the manager of one, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Obviously, JV, who I manage, they played a really good game today, led by Coach Mike Rector. Obviously, freshmen also had a very nice game. They beat King Phillip's freshman squad today. Pretty sure only by 2 points, so it was down to the wire for both teams.
So Canton looking to go perfect on the day as they have the 10-point lead. Easily the biggest one on this game. Now picking it back up, looking to gather it. And it's in.
That is a very much needed basket for King Phillip. Obviously, King Phillip needs baskets today because they're struggling against a very good Bulldogs defense.
Delezia.
I mentioned this earlier today, but Delezia, he's one of Canton's 2 sophomores on the team. Canton's obviously a very good team with a lot of seniors on it.
Juniors included. The King Phillip faithful that made the trek down here not too happy with some of the calls being made by the officials. Now back over to Delezia. And now Ashton gets the bucket. Ashton played on the boys soccer team and the time when it went to the state final. So that's a goal for number 15. Creedon steals it, and he's going to go away with it. Oh, damn, it's no good.
Oh, Jeremiah Brendan, man.
Went for the one-handed dunk, and Coach Eric McKinnon absolutely irate at that. That did not need to happen. It's cool when it goes in, but Eric McKinnon not happy. He would have taken the points there.
That definitely would have been on the highlight reel if that went in, but now that it didn't, well, not as much. King Phillip gets the rebound.
The defensive chant has got louder and louder as the night has gone on. So let's see, trying to get another steal. Oh, through the legs, picked up here. Preedon now is double teamed. Now it's even more aggressive on the Warriors from King Phillip.
Preedon's getting a lot of steals today, obviously right there. He has to have at least like 3 steals, right?
He's getting up there. He's definitely poked a lot of them away. McConnell, triple team, not able to convert. This one lost, and again fighting for it. Now McConnell will get a second life. Delezia, no good.
Forcing turnovers and getting steals is a huge part of Canton's game tonight. Obviously, as you can see right there, they've forced King Phillip to only 27 points.
As you see right in the upper left-hand corner. will be coming out. Julius Hicks coming in.
Julius Hicks is usually mentioned as one of Canton's best players, but I feel like senior forward Jeremiah Brennan, who's usually on the bench for Hicks, is just as good defensively. As you can see, he's had multiple steals, and even on that dunk attempt, he has a lot of athletic talent.
Grant Kitty. Oh, the double fake there from Jack Assini. Number 34, Jack Assini into the game here. Now backing it up and going forward. Predin shoots it straight at the rim. And gets nothing but the red iron.
Here comes Kareem Porter, number 35, senior center.
Kareem Porter, number 35, coming into the game, as you said. And he'll be coming into this one.
I'm sure the Bulldogs bench wanted a better crowd, but I feel like that's sort of been a blessing in disguise. Maybe some pressure has been taken off the Bulldogs
Or
tonight.
maybe there isn't. Who knows, as they're going back and forth. There's Will LaPlante, who's been silent this entire quarter. No shot clock left. Picked up here, McConnell. McConnell, 20 seconds left in the third. Oh, down goes, now it'll be a foul on the Bulldogs. McKinnon absolutely unhappy. Canton in its biggest lead of 11, 9 seconds left. Shot up from Will from another zip code. And that'll be the end of the third quarter where Canton leads 11 points ahead of their visiting rivals, the King Phillip Warriors. 38-27, end of the third.
Canton's defense has been stifling so far. Obviously, King Phillip only has 27 points going into the fourth quarter, but not to mention Will LaPlante and Tommy Monterano, who are King Phillip's top two scorers. They have both sort of been shut down by Canton's defense tonight, which is a huge testament to Coach McKinnon's strategy going into the game, I feel like.
Absolutely. You have that Will LaPlante scored he averages 16 points a game, almost 17. I can tell you that he is nowhere close to 17 points today. I'm not sure about Monterano. He seems to be a lot closer, but 12.7. They've certainly been shut down from scoring. As you just saw at the end of that, we hadn't seen Will LaPlante even take a shot for most of the third quarter.
Obviously, it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's a huge testament to the Bulldogs defense, in particular, the guards who are guarding LaPlante.
And you see the Bulldogs still trying to do it, and the King Phillip Warriors still guarding. They're double teaming and triple teaming even. Getting three people up on one of the Bulldogs to then guard them. You're seeing that it took Caden a long time to get that three ball to go down. You're seeing Julius Hicks struggling for the rebounds. You're seeing them definitely triple teaming Jamal McConnell and Zaza Francoeur, number 3. He's definitely had his struggles. So there's been great defense played on the other side of the ball.
I'm sure Jamal McConnell, junior guard, was a huge focus of King Phillip's game plan going today, and I feel like that game plan sort of worked.
Swish, and it's in.
Julius Hicks, the senior forward, was coming off an injury, obviously. Hits a 3.
Big buckets for Julius Hicks. And is sliding it in there for Tommy Kilroy. Talking about McConnell. McConnell gives it off to Hicks. Julius. Both men go down. Oh, he's down on the floor, and he still gets the rebound. Do they have a statistical category for getting the rebound while sitting?
I don't think they do, but hustling tonight has been pretty good so far for both teams.
That was impressive. And back after it here. Picking it up, Kinney. Kinney trying to get past Julius. Oh, up for Asani. And Asini did not convert. 6:39 left to go in the game. Bulldogs still building that lead at 12 points here. Now, if you're the Bulldogs, do you still keep the pressure on? Do you still keep scoring? Or do you try to wind down the clock and try to keep protecting this lead?
I feel like knowing Coach McKinnon, he wants to wind down the clock and try to get this game over with and win the game. But we'll see how the game plan goes.
And I think it is the King Phillip Warriors. It's their fouls, their penalty, their miscues that has really been costing them this matchup.
Those small things, they can be a very vital part of the game of basketball. So even if your team is one of the best offensive teams in the league, they can be minimized because of great defense. And Canton today has been playing very good defensively. In particular, Canton's forwards.
And we talk about that momentum. That momentum is swinging in Canton's favor because they're getting a lot of these opportunities at the charity stripe. And head coach David DiStefano for the King Phillip Warriors told the Hook'emUpSports.com that basketball, it's a game of runs, and it's all about how you respond. Let's see how the King Phillip Warriors respond to being down late in this game.
One thing to mention right here is that Canton and King Phillip, they both have similar records. Canton's third in the Davenport division, while King Phillip is third in the Kelly Ricks division. Canton's coming into the game 6-4, while King Phillip's 7-4.
Now come back after the shot is off the iron. Not to be. And now coming down here is LaPlante. LaPlante on Zaza. That's a matchup to watch. And LaPlante takes home the W in that instance.
King Phillip might be going on a run right here. I feel like that shot by LaPlante might be some momentum as number 1 steals the ball and King Phillip, and he goes for the layup. That's good. Now King Phillip's only down by 6. The game is far from over.
Remember when I asked you if they should wind down the clock? I think they should stop doing that.
I think they should. I mean, Canton may have underestimated King Phillip from the timeouts as Canton comes up, finds Jeremiah. That layup's good.
Now come back after the 4:45 left to go. Big shot there from LaPlante. And it's no good. Thank you so much for joining us here. Oh, big scuffle. Well, skirmish, thankfully everybody is okay. How's it going back after it here? It looks like Tommy McLeish will be inbounding the ball. Ashton Satute will be coming in for Jeremiah Preden. Thank you so much for joining us here on Canton Community Television, Comcast 12, Verizon 41, and Verizon HD 2143, and on CantonCommunityTV.org. Now, getting his way through the pile is LaPlante.
Great defense by Canton right there. Canton up for a layup. That's good. Canton's lead extends to 10.
Back up to double digits.
I'm sure Coach McKinnon and his coaching staff want a win so bad right now because obviously Franklin's loss and Foxborough's loss was very costly as they get a steal right there. Here's Zaza.
Oh, no good. And you talk about the home crowd. This is only Canton's 3rd home game of the season. They haven't. There's a timeout from an irate King Phillip squad. The coaches looked like he was going to blow a gasket, but anyway, the point is that Canton hasn't won a game at home since last year, and I mean 2022. You want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. You want to at least win one in this current year, this calendar year. and especially coming off, you got to rebound, you got to reset from what happened against Foxborough just 4 short days ago.
Circumstances were a lot different last season, obviously, of COVID and some of the restrictions that were still placed on the team. But this season, there is no such restriction. So I feel Coach McKinn really wants his players to go out there and get the W. And obviously, last year, if I do mention, Canton beat King Phillip. I think they did. Last season, pretty sure they did in fact beat King Phillip. I was looking at hawkboxsportsleague.com, great website, and I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw that CHS Canton High School beat King Phillip last year in their head-to-head matchup. So.
And of course, the Kelly Rec division, the King Phillip Warriors, just a game or two behind the Taunton Tigers. If they win tonight, they will tie the Taunton Tigers with a Taunton loss. But regardless of what happens, the Taunton Tigers are next on the schedule for King Phillip as they will travel to Rentham. And the Bulldogs will round out their 3-game homestand against Mansfield this Friday. Both of those games at 6:30. Ashton gives it over. Jafin backing it up. Adam Merliani. Merliani's up. Oh, not to be. Now LaPlante gives it to Gray. Captain and captain. And I see 2 more points up onto the board. Giving it up to Zaza. 3:18 left to go in the game. Canton up by 6.
Canton just can't afford to lose tonight. Because if they do, that's 3 straight losses.
So it's not a must-win, but they really need to win this game. If they lose this one, then against Mansfield would be a must-win. For so many reasons, to stay alive in the tournament, to stay alive in the standings, just overall morale, momentum. They were ranked 14th in the MIAA Power Rankings on Friday. That'd be the latest version. And that would be Division 2 and Division 1. The King Phillip Warriors are ranked 22. And has great hustle and great play by Grant Kinney.
Head coach Steve DeSalfio, who's the head coach for King Phillip, I'm sure with 2 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the game, he really needs some free points shots from his 2 best players, Will LaPlatz and Tommy Martoreno, who are both gifted 3-point shooters in their own right.
I don't know if he'll take 3 points. He'll take 2 points at this point. He'll take any points. There's a 1 point. I think he'd take that too. But to your point, you want to get the ball in the hands of your best shooters. You want to get the ball into the hands of the people that have carried you to the position you're in right now.
That is very true, but I feel like Coach DeSalfio, he might be looking for his other players who are more underappreciated on King Phillip's roster and potentially get some more effort from them, which obviously basketball, sometimes the star player doesn't always show up, but some of the bench guys, they might show up in a big way, and if they do, then they might get some more recognition.
That's very true. 2:34 left to go in the game. Bulldogs up by 8. And back over to the senior captain. Defense chant back out. Over to the junior Tommy McLeish. Tommy for 3. In and out.
Nice defense by Canton right there.
They're going to call the foul on Will LaPlante. Zaza looking for an option. Gives it over to Ashton. Ashton. Chafin all alone, and Matt Chafin with the bucket.
I thought there was a chance that he might go for the dunk right there, even though the size is lower than Zaza's. But
oh, in and out again.
It shall not be.
They're going to call McConnell for traveling. And not to Honolulu.
King Phillip, 1 minute and 57 seconds left to go. They're sort of in desperation mode now. They really need to win.
Almost. King Phillip has one more win than the Bulldogs do. These wins becoming even more apparent, even more important as the season winds down. Up, off, no good. Oh, 3-point, but they're going to call the foul on Caden Merliani.
I mean, Canton's defense, they've just been putting so much pressure on King Phillip's best shooters. It's crazy.
It's been a clinic on how to take away the biggest score on the opposing team. Rolls in.
Not just the top scorers too, obviously.
The whole team?
The whole team. I mean, King Phillip has a lot of depth on their roster. They obviously have a lot of bench guys that can come in and score the ball, but as of with 1 minute and 38 seconds left to go, they've minimized not only King Phillip's stars players, they've also minimized Canton's
They've minimized the opponents. All of their opportunities here. As you see Brandon Nick Castro coming in for Will LaPlante, speaking of the bench people there. And it looks like Jack Assini might be coming in as well. So with 138, as you mentioned, it's 49-42. The Warriors aren't out of this game. There is an awfully lot of time and not a lot of ground to cover.
I mean, it's not over until it's over, as a wise man once said. Tracy McGrady, his Houston Rockets were down 13 to the San Antonio Spurs in one NBA game 13 years ago. And, well, Houston just ended up winning the game in the end, so don't count them out, Gavin. I feel like King Phillip, if their cards are in the right place, they might pull out a win.
It can happen. And Chafin coming back after it, gives it over to Caden.
Coach McKinnon wants a timeout, but he does not get it.
Looks like Jack Assini be coming in, or coming out, excuse me. Will LaPlante and Tommy Galish coming in. Jack Assini coming out, along with his King Phillip Warrior brethren. And the shot is null and void. Picking it back up here, 90 seconds left. And Will chasing down coast to coast. And no good there. Hands over the ball to the Bulldogs. Chafin backing it back up. Now going over. Trying to slide. Zaza wide at the side of the wing. And then stolen by the senior captain, almost running straight into us.
Don't want that to happen.
I don't think it would be a good thing. And of course, it is not on purpose. It is a complete accident. And they're in the heat of the moment. There is less than 90 seconds left, and your team's trying to win the game. You're not worried about anything else. You're worried about winning the game.
That is true, Kevin. You just can't have injuries in the sport at all.
That's true. Free throw. No good.
That senior captain, Grant Kinney. This is a free throw shot. Here comes number 5, Will LaPlante, and number 4, Tommy McLeish.
And Chafin at the line. And gets the first one from the foul line. Oh, I think that's his first miss on the night. Under a minute now. LaPlante trying to get past Zaza. Almost does. Picked up, and that's the bucket for McLeish. 6 points separate both teams. Substitutions coming in. 24 and 32. 24 and 34 coming in for the Warriors. And now coming back after it here. Chafin being blocked by 34 Jack Assini. Gives it over to Merliani. Merliani to Hicks. Hicks with the layup in the bucket. And now backing it up and trying to get over. Oh, up and over. Everybody flies. And Castro with the 2 points. Giving it over to Julius. Julius saves it from going out of bounds.
Sort of a shout out to Owen Lane, who's actually on the Canton basketball squad. Sort of a quarterback-like pass.
There you go. He had an extraordinary fall season at the quarterback. And it looks like it was the Bulldogs that took the timeout. Owen Lane, of course, trying to transfer his skills from the gridiron to the court.
Speaking of Owen Lane, we haven't seen much of him tonight. Though, if I do add, I think Owen Lane was on Canton's varsity squad last year.
Is number 22 you see there. You never know. Number 22, Owen Lane, the junior guard, right outside the huddle. Bulldogs looking to get to a even record of 6 and 6, and trying to drop the King Phillip Warriors to 7 and 5. Of course, the Warriors want it the other way around. 26 seconds at all that remains. There's no shot clock here. Bulldogs lead by 6. Still a lot of time. If you can lose a game in 1 second, you can certainly win a game in 26 seconds.
Canton learned that the hard way last week against Foxborough, not Mansfield, but Foxborough. King Phillip desperately needs a foul.
And the King Phillip side is apoplectic. They are not happy at the slightest bit, is the coaching staff for the KP Warriors.
He's just not happy about that call.
James McConnell. And Jamal's shot is in. And he nails both.
Jamal's sort of been quiet tonight, which is sort of surprising because Jamal is the leading scorer for Canton thus far in the season.
Oh, big three.
That's number 12, Tommy Kilroy, sophomore. 14.3 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
You're only down by 5. Now, rather this timeout, you're obviously looking for 2 points, maybe a quick transition. Trying to get that bucket in.
Anything is possible, as Paul Pierce, forward for the Boston Celtics Hall of Famer, once said.
There you go. As you see the Bulldogs huddle right there. You see Keith Hannon. You see number 11, Jeremiah Preedon. You see Owen Lane there, number 22, starting off to the side. The Bulldogs lining up their strategy to try to stop or prevent the King Phillip Warriors from scoring, and maybe score a bucket of their own. Of course, the Warriors ranked 22nd in the MIAA latest Division I power ranking. That's out of 65 teams. Bulldogs 14, and that is in Division II. Of course, the division is just based on the size of the school, how many students are enrolled. Going back after it, trying to gather this one down. Chafin loses it, and he's going to block it.
What a block by Canton.
And they're going to get those 2 points, but there's 7.4 seconds left, but it's only a one-possession game. Canton takes the timeout. Looks like we have some replays coming for you. And right here you see the shot, but it just landed and the ball got stuck right between the net and the backboard. And now with 7.4 seconds left in this game. 3 points separate the... It's only 3 points separating it here. The Bulldogs just need to hold on to the ball. 4.8. And it'll be a foul on Jack Assini.
This is from a few seconds ago, but Canton had an absolute highlight reel block. Unfortunately, King Phillip got the rebound and shot the score, but that is an absolute highlight reel. You might, if this was ESPN, then you would probably see it at the end of the game.
It'll be at the top 10.
ESPN top 10.
And now Merliani nails the first one, making it the two-possession game. LaPlante and McLeish coming in. And that's a big shot there. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds, big shot from LaPlante off the backboard, and the Bulldogs pull out the victory. Big win for the Bulldogs.
Huge win for the Canton Bulldogs today, 56-51. Obviously after Franklin's loss and Foxborough's loss in double overtime, they really needed this one, and well,
they got it.
With amazing defense and clutch scoring by Bulldogs offense, they get this win. Just a great win all around.
Incredible, and it was against a very tough team here, where the Bulldogs pick up the win over the KP Warriors in varsity boys basketball. The Bulldogs will be coming to stay at home against the Mansfield Hornets this Friday, January 27th at 6:30. In King Phillip will head home to face the Taunton Tigers this Friday, January 27th at 6:30 p.m. Again, your final score, the Canton Bulldogs pick up the major victory, as you said. They rebound and respond to the big loss on Friday, and they pick up the big win on Tuesday, where it is 56-51. KP takes the loss. The Bulldogs will take home the victory again. 56-51 is your final score. I'm Kevin Prague, joined by Will Santos, and now we're joined by Dylan Larenko with the recap of today's game.
Great game. The Bulldogs defeat the Warriors 55-51. As we can see on your screen, Marlini's half-court shot didn't count, but it was still unbelievable. As you see, the number two shot gets stuck. Unbelievable. We don't see that often, and just a really rare case of events. 55-51, your final score. The Bulldogs take down the Warriors, and the next game will be Friday night. It will be Teacher Appreciation Night too, so make sure you go to that. It will be Friday versus Mansfield here at home. And back to Kevin.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Canton Community Television. We appreciate you stopping by and watching the game. Again, the Bulldogs win 56-51. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night and take care of yourself.